I like it better, Nicole. I like it better like this. Well,
What?
me like this.
You like what?
Welcome, everybody. We are live now on the air, and we are going to do another. I changed up the appearance. I just wanted this to be a little closer. I thought the camera was too far away, so I'm going to try to do these town halls like this. See if it's better. See if you can communicate better this way, or we can have a better conversation. I don't know what the viewers see, Torin. What do they see? Oh, I can't hear you, Torin. Okay. So, Nicole, why don't you tell people who you are so people know? You're my campaign manager. You've been my campaign manager since the when exactly?
Since early October of 2018. So the tail end of the campaign.
Tail end of the campaign against Chris Collins and throughout this whole run. But let's talk about where you come from. How did you get involved in politics? People might find that interesting.
Not intentionally. Barack Obama was running running for president when I was a senior in college, and I was double majoring in English and psychology, frankly, because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I liked to write, and I knew I liked to fight for progressive causes. I was on the state board of directors for the New York Public Interest Research Group when I was in college. So when I heard Obama talking about the future of my generation and how it was highly unlikely we were going to be able to buy cars and houses at the same speed that our parents did, and all of it was scary, frankly. I sort of got scared into getting involved in politics. So as soon as I graduated, I joined the Rochester for Obama initiative. And a few months after that, a couple of my friends were working on a congressional race in the Southern Tier and said, Obama's going to be just fine. Come out and help us flip this very red district. And
No. Just everybody who's watching, the connection has been terrible all night. So if we lose you guys, I apologize. It's just that everybody's on it, so the for an accurate description. Yeah, I'm sorry. So I'm sorry to everybody. Sorry. So
it's fine. I have
so
a feeling I'll be on this a lot.
I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about the interruption. So you worked on Barack Obama's campaign. You were a young, idealistic, just graduated from college, but you were worried about the future. You heard him speak about diminishing opportunities or the lack of an American dream, and you wanted to be involved. You believed in Barack Obama, right?
I did. He was incredibly inspiring, and he's frankly sort of modeled the kind of candidate I've wanted to work for and with throughout the years. So you must be doing something right, Nate.
Thanks. So we're trying. Let me. So you've been. How many congressional campaigns have you been on?
You are my 24th congressional candidate, but I've worked with candidates at all levels, from the local town board level all the way up to Congress and United States Senate.
So you were involved. You were also on the Irondequoit Town Board.
I did. Yep. I just right around the same time you wrapped up your term as town supervisor, I was wrapping up my 4.5 years serving on the town board in my hometown of Irondequoit. Oh.
Did you like doing that?
It was refreshing to be sort of on the other side of the curtain, right? I got to be my own version of Leslie Knope, if you will, and I'm sure you can relate. One thing I really loved working on the municipal level, you can see the the impact you have on the day to day, right? You don't have to talk about national issues, although people want to. I could just sort of remind them we're not Democrats or Republicans. I'm here to fix your playgrounds and your sidewalks. So let's get some work done.
So you like you like your whole board was Democrat, weren't they?
We were, yes. It was not anything close to what some folks experience on the town level in terms of a mix of parties. You had probably a much more exciting term on that front than I did.
Did you guys get along on the board?
Yeah, I mean, look, we didn't always agree on everything, but if there was something that one of us wasn't comfortable moving forward with, or we had questions on, we would table it and come back to it later. It was always we tried to do everything as a consensus.
So do you regret doing that, or are you proud you did it? I know it was tough. It's tough for everybody who does it. What do you feel? Do you recommend people to do it?
Absolutely. I mean, it's know what you're getting yourself into. I don't care if it's town board or running for Congress. Even as somebody who's been working in politics for over a decade, when I ran for town board, I think I took for granted the amount of time that was going to go into it. It's both on the campaign side, and once you're elected, it's a large commitment. So you have to make sure your family is ready for it, and that you are in a good position to financially. It's granted, all the rules are out the window right now with the pandemic, but yeah, you've got to really want it, because it's a lot of work.
Now, you did a lot about helping other people get involved in politics. You did Women Elect, right? What was that like?
Yes.
What is that? Because nobody knows what that is, so you need to explain to people what it is.
Women Elect is similar to it started in Buffalo, actually. It's similar to organizations like Emerge and Emily's List in that it trains women on the local level to run for public office, and then supports them when they do run. I actually helped expand the program from Buffalo to additional cities like Rochester, which I'm very proud of. Women Elect Rochester is still thriving to this day. I still keep in close contact with a lot of my former students there, including Kate McCardle on your team here with us. And some of them have ran successfully and won, including Stephanie Townsend, who's on the Pittsford Town Board, and Mary Lupian, who's on the Rochester City Council. Very proud of it.
And basically, you did boot camps, right, to teach people how to run for office if they've never run for office before.
This was actually a 14-week long program. So we would do boot camp sort of for people who wanted to sort of dip their toe in the water, but the actual program itself is several weeks, which it covers everything from identifying your core issues to creating a 5 to 10 year plan in terms of political goals, as well as doing actual interviews with local reporters to kind of get comfortable in being in front of a camera.
So you helped me run boot camps last summer across NY27, and I'm happy to say we got several people to actually run for office.
Yeah, those are super fun.
Yep. And the people, it was rewarding for me to have people come to our boot camp and then who are now on the ballot for like statewide office, which is kind of amazing. So look, politics has a lot of ups and downs. We were on that campaign where we lost to Chris Collins. That was a big shot, right? We were sad for all of us. Sad for Western New York. You've had some victories. You've had some losses. Do you still feel passionate about politics after all this time? Are you the same person who started off so excited about Barack Obama? Are you that same person today?
She's in there somewhere. She's a little bit older and maybe a little bit bitter. Once you learn how the sausage is made, I know nobody likes that phrase, but it's difficult. Yeah, and when you lose, you want to lose by a lot, not by a little tiny bit like we did, right? That's it's much more painful to lose by a little bit. And I got my start in that district back in 2011 with now Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul, but she also lost by a small margin, not as small as yours, but I would say I'm a little bit wiser, and but I think idealistically I'm the same person, right? I'm still doing this for the same reasons, and every time it gets too difficult or exhausting, or I'm like, I think I just would rather go work a normal 9-to-5 job. I meet a candidate that, like you, who just inspires me to keep doing this work. Or a Donald Trump gets elected, and I'm like, well, hell, now I can't leave politics.
What are the values that you hold most dear about politics? What drives you to be involved still? What changes do you want to have made to our country?
Income.
Or what do you want to fight to preserve? I mean, what matters to you?
Sure. I mean, look, I think most important for me in particular is women's equality. And a part of the work that I was doing to train women to run for office and pack the pipeline with qualified women is we are at a shockingly bad place in terms of women's equality in public office. We're trailing countries like China and Turkey. We, in terms of overall women's equality, we rank about 50 in the world, and that is right. We're supposed to be one of the most powerful countries in the world and one of the most developed nations in the world. So to me, a part of that, solving those issues is actually having at least 50% of women at the table making these key decisions that legislate our day to day. But outside of that, I would say income equality, which is something that makes me incredibly excited about you and your race. It's something that you've always held very dear, and it's a very critical issue in our current environment on this campaign.
So I got to ask you, when you first saw, like, this is a sensitive topic, can I go there?
I love it when you say that, like I'm supposed to, sure, having no idea.
When I first ran and you first saw me, you were like, this guy doesn't got a chance. He doesn't know who is this guy? What the heck is this? True or false?
I feel like I'm screwed no matter how I answer that question. No, I wouldn't go that far.
Wait. When you saw me and Jim Sharp walk into the Rural Democratic Conference the first time, what were you thinking?
Oh, well, that was well before we actually met. I was like, who does this guy think he is, showing up a day into the conference here? But no. I mean, if you'll remember, I got started with you because I was supposed to be I was consulting and organizing an event that the Lieutenant Governor was doing in support of you. And then the more I got to know the team and you, and I'm like, oh, you need this. Oh, you need this. I'm a doer. I show up and I fill the needs that need to be met. So it was, whether I'm a sucker or this is just an incredible cause, I'm sure it's a combination of the two, but you were definitely not in the most dire of straits out of all the candidates I've seen over the years.
But you saw that I was raw and I was green and I didn't know what I was doing a little bit. I mean, let's be honest.
You had this epic, one-of-a-kind grassroots movement that just sort of you naturally built around you, and you, frankly, you knew that there were additional tools you needed to cross the finish line, and I guess I was just one of the first people to show up and help give them to you.
So I would say to candidates, what they need is you have to have a real belief system. You can't simply be in this because you want to be in office. I meet a lot of people who just want to be in office. I'm like, well, why? For what? Right. Tell me what you're passionate about. I would say that's a big thing you need. But you also need that hard-nosed ability about when filing issues. I mean, especially when you run at my level, the congressional level.
Yeah, there's no how-to manual out there.
There's no road book or guidebook, and I think what you helped me learn is that this is not just running for town supervisor. Like, I ran for Congress the way I ran for town supervisor. I just go meet people and say, "Hey, how you doing? Let's be." And I think, to be honest with you, I think that served me very well because I built that following or that support system, which a lot of candidates don't do. They say,
Right.
"Okay, we're going to do all the professional stuff, but we're not going to do the retail politics at all." So we
Yeah.
were the opposite. We did all the retail politics, but this stuff we were completely disorganized on. And I think you helped us get that campaign framework around us. Where are we now? I mean, let's be honest. This is a very scary time. We're all personally scared. I know you are probably worried about your family. I'm worried about my family. What happens now? Because we had a plan. And as Mike Tyson says, everyone's got a plan until you get punched in the face. Well, COVID punched me in the face and then punched the whole country in the face. Where are we now?
I mean, look, I think, and the team talks about this on a daily basis. At this, we're taking it one day at a time. I mean, nobody knows what turnout looks like now. Nobody knows exactly what is going to happen on June 23rd. Are we going to have a limited number of machines? Are we still going to have to be quarantined at this level? I think, you know, we had a solid framework and plan, and I think that still stands. It's just adjusted a little bit. Electorally, I think we're in a great spot just based on the three-way GOP primary. But the field looks different now, of course, right? Instead of calling and asking people, "Hey, vote for Nate," at this point in time, we've got people calling and saying, "Hey, are you okay?" And our team has pulled together this resource guide of government and community resources that maybe you or your family might want to take a look at. How can we help? Right. So
Let me cut you off. I'm so proud that we're doing that. My
yeah,
team, and by the way, you and I have worked hard to retain all of our staff. And
yeah,
we're not exactly flushed with cash. We have to raise money the old-fashioned way. I'm on the phone every single day asking people to help us. And we've retained our staff, or we tried to retain all of our staff, or as many as we could to this point, and still retain a robust campaign. And what our staff is doing is just really want to. And even though we're doing all the good things, I know our offices are closed and our campaign isn't working like a regular campaign because we're doing outreach. And I feel we have to win. I feel we must win. Does that weigh on your shoulders the way it weighs? I know it does. Can you talk about that for a second?
yeah. I mean, look, the messaging is always we always mean what we say, right? We're running to fight for working families, right? We're running to ensure people have access to quality health care. But now it's there's a certain level of being desensitized over the years. Like, you're running for the right reasons, and there certainly could be things at stake. But now it's so much more life and death. It's so much more critical, right? Of course, nobody wants to be a politician right about now, or asking anybody for money, or asking for their vote. But the fact of the matter is, somebody is going to win this election on June 23rd. Somebody is going to be the next congressman in the 27th congressional district, and we can't afford another detached millionaire. We can't afford somebody who's going to vote against paid family leave, right? Like we need a Nate McMurray now more than ever. So it's definitely, I know you feel it, and yeah, it does. It's a different level of pressure, but luckily we're used to this, right? This is not this isn't going into a library and having a nice quiet day. We're used to the chaos. We're used to the pressure. And I think we have the team behind us to get us over the finish line and make you the next congressman here.
Well, I have the best team I ever had right now, no doubt. I mean, I have a great communications person. I have you as a great campaign manager. I have a great finance team. I wish that we weren't in the middle of a pandemic. And like, look at it's not the same doing Skype every morning, as
Yeah.
it is used to meeting in our offices. It's not the same texting people, but I still think we're finding a way to be victorious. And the good news for us is the other guy is just such a mess at this point. I mean, did you see he lied this morning? He tweeted out a lie about Governor Cuomo raiding hospitals with. I mean, he's not only. Listen, everyone listening. This guy is not only my opponent. He's a sitting state senator.
Yeah.
And he's lying. That's tragic. I mean, the guy is unfit. And I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to be bold about it because his voting record is atrocious. We have to be.
Right.
Look, I know Democrats struggle with that. I just did a house party before this, right? Online house party, and the question came up, Nate, do you think we have to go high when they go low? And somebody on the call said, don't go too high because because what we do is we're good people. We don't want to be in fights with people. We don't want to be yelling, but we gotta stand up for what we believe in, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's, this isn't a tennis match. You're running for Congress against someone who has done some pretty nasty things. And to your point about this morning's tweet that he quickly deleted, the fact that anybody is sitting in a room thinking of zingers strictly against the other party, or trying to fearmonger. I mean, the last thing anybody should be doing right now is fearmongering, and that's frankly all his campaign has shown they're good at. Not helping people, not coming to solutions that are good for all Americans, right? It's how can we really stick it to the guy on the other side of the aisle? How can we, right, score some really low political points? And that's not who you are, and that's not what Western New York needs.
Listen, is there anything else you want to share? I mean, I want to bring in the crew, and I think I could talk to you all night, but the problem is the internet connection is not too great. And I see Torrin. Yeah. I'm watching you on one side, and I see Torrin on the other side. Torrin looks like a panicked DJ. Oh, he's trying to fix everything. Yeah. So Torrin,
and I'll be on plenty. I'm going to be your backup co-host anytime somebody falls through the cracks or has to cancel or whatever. So we'll be talking about the campaign a lot in the weeks ahead. I did see a question because of course I'm getting my Slack update. So I did see one question come through. Somebody had sent to the team asking what I would say to any women interested in running for public office. And I guess that would be twofold. One, get involved first, right? Like go, whether it's Nate McMurray's campaign, Sarah Clark's campaign for assembly, whomever, get involved, learn as much as you can. The people who get positions on campaigns or an opportunity to work with another candidate, you show up. Frankly, it's the best advice I could give any young person is you just show up and you start doing. You get thrown into the deep end, and it makes you that's the absolute best experience you could possibly get. But if you want to run, yes, get that experience.
Wait a second. We get a lot of people come into the campaign and they'll say, hey, we get lots of people who want to volunteer, but they think running for office is sitting in a big circle and jamming about political philosophy, which we do. Wait, we do that. We talk about ideas, but sometimes people who want to do that don't want to do what everybody else does, which is make phone calls, knock on doors. I do that. And I want to tell everybody out there who's listening, everybody in politics has to do the grunt work. We don't have $1 billion like my competitor does, or $4 billion like his family has, whatever, to spend on commercials and lies. We have to do real old-fashioned politics, which means phone calls, door knocking, and I would say that. And we've had some really smart young people. Remember that girl last year? I don't remember. She came in, like, there's one young lady who worked on our campaign. She went on to go to Yale, and she was so smart, but she came in, she was so humble. She would just make phone calls all day long. And, I didn't even know who she was until the end of the campaign. I talk to her, and she has this incredible background. You have these people that are extremely humble, but sometimes, I'm just being honest, you have people who come in who want to like tell you what to do, or like give
Yeah.
you like their low down.
My
What
least
do you say
favorite
to
part.
those folks?
Well, look, I think politics is it's it's a difficult thing as an operative and a consultant, right? You spend all these years learning the ins and outs and dealing with national strategists. But politics, it's not like you're a trained attorney, right? Like if my attorney says you should do this, probably going to listen to your attorney more often than not. But because politics is something that everybody who wants to anyway has some sort of, right? Maybe it's just watching Rachel Maddow. Maybe it's just what they're reading on Facebook. But yeah, it's something that everybody has an opinion on. And without knowing all of the moving pieces behind the scenes, it's very easy to have, well, you should be doing this and not this over here, or you should be doing more of this. And it's organized chaos. Campaigns are truly organized chaos. So
But Nicole, I think my campaign more than most is willing to listen to people. I mean, you've seen my offices. Whoever comes in, I make part of the team when we had our offices open. I'm like, come on in and have some
yeah.
Cheetos. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I make them everybody welcome. But what I want to say to folks who are young people watching, what really helps is come share your ideas, come share your passion, come share your thoughts. But we need people to actually work. And so people who are willing to work in politics, they go up quick. I think of Torrin on the line here. I met Torrin. He was this young man I met at an event, and now he's a core member of my team because he showed he could work. Or there's lots of people like we have like that. And I want to say to people who want to get involved in politics, there's lots of opportunity to serve, lots of opportunity to be involved, lots of opportunity to be part of a team. But that's it. It's a team. And you come in, you willing, you get ready to work.
And it looks a little bit different right now. And it's like a lot of Skype conversations and remote phone banking from home. But it's not always going to be like this. And we still have a lot of fun, and we still have a lot of work to do. To your point, we need all the help we can get to make sure we connect with every voter and get your message out there.
Yep. Okay, Torrin. Nicole, we'll talk to you more again later, but let's mix in whoever we want to mix in. Torrin, who do you want to mix in? DJ Torrin.
DJ Torrin.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, to everybody watching, we're gonna have more conversational format like we had last night, that Brady Bunch feel. But just tonight, the internet is so bad. So Nicole, thanks for having me on. Anything you want to finish with, or anything you want to say?
No. Let's. I know this isn't going to be my last time. Great team, and I'm appreciative for everybody's continued support for you in particular.
Let's do a shout out to Sarah Clark. I know you're a big supporter of Sarah Clark.
She's Senator Gillibrand's deputy state director, and she is running for assembly in the 136th district. She is incredible. Thank you.
So if people want to get involved in Sarah Clark's campaign, what do they got to do? I know it's not usual for a guy like me to say that, but I want to support Sarah too because I know how much that means to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they can email me, but let me pull up her. She's on Facebook and her website's on there. I want to say it's sarahclarkforassembly.com, but I'm not going to go get too shameless in my plugging.
Well, thank you so much for coming. We'll talk to you again soon. Torrin, I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Thanks, Nate.
Bye, guys.
Bye.